Today we are going to discuss on the international trade and finance. Though we have finished it, now I would like to take it in a manner where we can actually sort of reviewing the entire subject. The total subject we are going to review. Is that fine?
Yes.
Yeah. So, first of all, let's see what is international trade. What is international trade? International trade is nothing but whichever trade, commerce, or business you are going to deal with more than one nation, that is, which you are not doing domestic kind of business or domestic kind of commerce, but domestic kind of trade. If you are doing it among the nations, that is nothing but, in simple terms, that is the international trade. So in that international trade, normally what will happen, what will transpire between these nations, it's nothing but imports and exports. So that there should be some products, some goods, some services which should be transferred between the nations. We call it as imports when we are buying it from abroad or foreign nation. When we are, we call the exports when we are sending the goods and services outside our nation, the domestic nation, to the foreign nation, any nation. So, what is there in it? The issue is that in domestic, whatever you are doing, to do for the international trade, you need more efforts, more quality services. Besides that, you should be skilled very well so that it is, you have to stand to the world requirements or global standards you have to maintain. That is what is very essential. So now while doing that, what are we supposed to do? For international trade, when you want to do it, the first and the foremost thing is you have to look for the development of a product or service which is necessary internationally. So develop one product. By developing it, you have to also perform market research, because you have to understand what are the goods needed for the other nation. Let us say I am going to do with Germany. You have to first of all understand what is in demand, what is that they are going to accept from you. First, identify that. Once you identify that, then you have to also see that what kind of demand is there. Market research. That is very, very important. What kind of demand is there? What kind of price band can be accepted? What kind of customer satisfaction is needed? What kind of quality they are looking at? These are the things which you have to really explore. These are the things which you have to explore. Once you explore them, then you are confident about doing your trade. So, well, once you got that, then you have many other things which you have to perform to the satisfaction of the customers, whosoever they are. So, while doing that, in the first place, let us see what are the things you have to line up or gear up. Right? The first and the foremost thing is that you should have necessary finances. Without finance, nothing moves. So you should be having finances in order to perform this kind of international trade. So, how are you going to have those finances? What are the ways and means? Particularly when you are doing import and export, one thing is very clear, that you are dealing with foreign currency. Because, let's say, if I am exporting, I am going to earn in dollars. I am going to earn dollars. Normally, why I said dollars is US dollars are commonly accepted currency. It's a commonly accepted currency, US dollar. Of course, you can go by euros, you can go by Japanese yen or other whichever are prominent, like of Great Britain pound. Yes? So that is why you are exporting. While you are importing, naturally you have to pay in terms of dollars. While exporting you are earning dollars, while importing you have to pay dollars because they are not going to accept your currency. You have to convert your currency into the dollars. You have to convert into dollars. Once you convert it into dollars, then you can import. Okay, so what would be the, I just want to say that before I take the actual, reasons, various reasons, first I would like to tell you about which manner the exporter will be benefited and in which manner if you are doing, the importer would be benefited. So, whenever your currency is weak, that means your products are cheap for the foreigners. Because for the same dollar, they are going to get more number of units of your currency. So when it becomes weak, it is to the benefit of the foreign nations. Because your product becomes cheaper. When your currency becomes stronger, then what will happen? It will be expensive for them. But whereas for importing, for you it is better. Because your money against the foreign currency is stronger. So when it is stronger, that means your purchase power increases. As simple as that. So when the purchase power increases, you can do more for the same amount, you can import more products or services. This is the basic logic when you are doing imports and exports. Then, coming now to actually conduct import and export, what is that we need? In the first place, as I told you, we have identified a product, we have done some market research and survey, and now while you want to do this kind of business, few things I want to bring to your notice. You have to have finances. For that, there are few things which we call them as the finances needed before you're going to ship your products. That is pre-shipment finance. Second one is post-shipment finance. Pre-shipment finance, when you have it, it is useful for you in order to organize all that whatever products are needed for manufacturing. You will be little bit stronger financially as you are having pre-shipment finance with you. That is one thing, to secure yourself strong financially in order to conduct your business in a very healthy manner. Second thing is that post-shipment. What do you call by post-shipment? Post-shipment is nothing but when the products are placed on board ship, when the documents are ready, then you are going to get certain finances, because in that scenario it is more comfortable for whosoever is financing, whether the bank or financial, whosoever, they are more comfortable because you have more or less performed your duties of supplying the products and services. Only thing is that it did not reached to the destination yet. Yet, after post shipment, you can get your finances. Now, while we are saying about having finances, getting finances, while doing that, let's see what kind of methods are there in order to get those finances. One is that many times you can provide something called as credit. The other one is you can call it as open account. The other one you can call it as the trade finance, the means of letter of credit and different types of letters of credit. Those are all actually you're using because there is always an element of doubt, an element of risk, whether once you provide your products and services, whether you are going to receive your finances or not. That is the risk as well as fear for the one who is supplying, who is selling. So how you are going to protect his interest? There is a method by which it can be protected. Is a fantastic method which is derived for the benefit of both the parties. It is for the benefit of buyer as well as seller is letter of credit. The different letters of credit such as irrevocable, revocable, circular letter of credit, all these things are as per they are in line with the specific requirements of the seller or the buyer. So, as I told you that open account is nothing but where there is the account is open and then the payments can go in different manner. That is, certain times you will get certain advance, certain times you will be getting in a tranche manner, in a manner where like you can call it as at regular interval, certain amount can be paid, or certain times the payment goes on credit basis. That means after receipt of the goods, 30 days of credit or maybe 60 days. In fact, you see that instead of receipt of the goods, if the letter of credit is prepared and provided, from that time about 30 days to 60 days or 90 days, whichever. But the comfort is that if you are providing credit means you'll be losing your financial freedom for a certain period. That means you are having starvation for your monies because you have already given your products and services, but your money is blocked for a certain period. If the money is blocked, naturally you don't have that kind of shoulder room in order to freely conduct your business. So in order to freely conduct your business, naturally if the credit period, whatever you are offering, the shorter the better. So one should ensure that can happen only when your products are in high demand and the other party is in very much need of the products and you have all the necessary things what the customer is looking for. Basically, if he is satisfied, he will be ready to sacrifice to take credit for a longer duration. Maybe he will reduce his credit period. So that way you should do. Second thing I was telling you is that about the open account and then the letter of credit. Letter of credit is one thing that is given by the buyer to the banker. Once it is given, that letter of credit, naturally what happens is that there is exchange of documents to the letter of credit. Documents only speaks rather than real delivery of the goods. The documents are in line with whatever has been agreed upon by both the parties. That is the contract. You can call it as an import or export contract. Then It is only a letter of credit with which the seller becomes comfortable. Before the buyer pays the money with the buyer's bank, who are having confidence on the buyer, they will be releasing payment to the seller, because they are releasing that payment based on the clear documents received by the banker. Once the documents are there, it is safe that the exchange of products and the money is in safe and in a safe manner. I mean, it's in a safe manner, right? So now let us get into doing this kind of conducting finance. What kind of institutes are there? What kind of facilities you have in order to manufacture and then either to export or import? Let us see that. There are certain institutes which are helping you in terms of seeing that the proper conduct of business takes place. For example, you have World Trade Organization, you have UNCTAD, that is United Nations Conference of Trade and Development. So these are mainly helping the organizations in order to perform their import and export in a manner where there is no any hindrance or no any difficulties for the parties. If at all they have any difficulties, if at all there is any conflict or dispute, these are the organizations. There are few other organizations also which will come to the rescue. You can really reach out to them because they have the responsibility to see that this kind of commerce and trade is conducted in a smooth manner. So for that reason, these organizations, these are mainly meant for facilitating all these nations to conduct their business without any dispute or conflict. Of course, their intention is that, but in case if there is any dispute or conflict, they will come for the rescue. They will be, settling the problem, right? Similarly, we have, when we are doing that, this kind of, trade and all, there is always an element of risk. The payment due to whatever reason, if at all there is problem in receiving, or there can be problem in the goods getting into certain problem where the goods may be, while taking by the ship can capsize, or there can be a fire on the ship, there can be loss of the goods due to various reasons. The reasons can be political reasons, the reasons can be due to war, the reasons can be natural disasters, the reasons can be act of God, the reasons can be pilferage. Several reasons are there for loss of goods and products. How are you going to secure your interest? One of the best method is, it's a universal method, it's not best. Universal method is to have insurance. You need insurance. Insurance will protect your interest in case of any untoward incident taking place due to which there is loss of your cargo, loss of your goods, loss of your products, loss of your services, whichever. So you will be protected by the means of insurance. For that, you have to take a policy, insurance policy. Before you get the insurance policy, you will have the insurance note, which is called as, it's a note. Insurance note is nothing but what they will be providing is that they will be providing in toto the insurance policy kind of thing, but then there is a period before they actually accept it. There is a period in which there will be certain things to be checked into. And once they are satisfied, then they will be going to deliver the policy. Till that time, it is only a temporary policy which is called insurance note. right? So now coming to the other institutes, such as for the insurance, if you have heard about an institute by name ECGC, that is, what is it? ECGC is the Export Credit Guarantee Corporation of India. It's nothing but something like insurance where they are giving guarantee, thereby coming to the rescue of the people who are going for the export. ECGC. Similarly, Export Import Bank. This is also all these institutes, these are financial institutes which are giving financial comfort to the exporter as well as to the importer. These institutes like Exim, ECGC, and there is also export promotion councils where those councils, they'll be taking on the particular goods, whichever to that particular promotion council they are attached, such goods. And they will be totally looking into various things which will make the trade very smooth without any, hiccups in that. So such institutes are there mainly to help trade to develop, thereby trade to progress, thereby your economy of the nation increases, thereby the growth takes place and GDP also progresses. All these things are mainly meant for, as we all know, that it's a triple bottom benefit. The triple bottom benefit can be said as economical, social and environmental. It's also called as 3P, triple bottom with 3P. 3P is, first P stands for profit, second P stands for people, third P stands for planet. So these three are very important for everyone, for the entire, universally this is accepted, because whatever we are doing trade, without profit we cannot survive. One should have profit. At the same time, while you are making profit, it should be beneficial for the society, for the communities. That is nothing but the social benefit. That's the second one. The third one is when you are benefiting the society, communities and the people, at the same time you should not deteriorate the environment in which you are staying, you are existing. So the environment protection is the most important thing. That's the planet. You have to keep the planet sustainable. Sustainability is the thing, mantra, or you can call it as, is the thing which everybody should abide by. So that if the environment is good, then our longevity will be there, and also the planet can survive for longer, because the resources are limited. The resources are to be conserved. The resources should not be wasted. There is no luxury to waste resources or to spend them in a very easy manner, because as the years are going on, as you are advancing in time, there is lot of, the population is growing. Because of that population growth, there is more consumption. So we should be conserving, all these things, that is the resources, water, such as water, air. Air means air, conserving means air should be kept in a manner where it should not be having more of GHG. What is GHG? Greenhouse gases. Greenhouse gases, we cannot afford to have them. That will be depleting the quality of the air. For that we have different methods which are to be followed. That is why I said this triple bottom benefit which we have to look at. So coming back to our subject is that in order to perform such exports or imports, there are certain ways and means how you can conduct it. One of the method is that if you are a 100% export-oriented unit, which is called as 100% EOU, then there are a lot of benefits through, waiver of taxes, through certain, subsidies, through certain, soft loans. Such facilities are there. So, in order to perform this exports and all, you have certain facilities or certain methods which are created by Government of India, which we can call it as SEZ, EPZ, all these things. EPZ means Export Processing Zone. SEZ is Special Economic Zone. All these things are, once you have such zones which are demarcated, and in that whatever you are performing, it amounts to that, though you are in India only, is as good as a foreign land. Because the rules applied for that are very much different from the rules which are applied for the rest of the land. Whatever imports you are getting into EPZ or into SEZ are totally duty free, tax free. The only reason for that is that you are going to export. After getting the imports, why you are importing certain parts or material in order to manufacture in the EPZ or in SEZ and then export them. When you are exporting, you are getting that benefit. In the same manner, if you are not even in the SEZ or EPZ, even if you are outside, still if you are getting certain parts or certain material, raw material, and if you use that material or those parts in order to manufacture certain machinery or certain equipment, certain electronic gadgets or goods, whatever, if you are doing that and if you are exporting it, you will be entitled for duty drawback. Duty drawback, as you know, that a duty drawback is nothing but whatever duty you have paid towards importing those things which are necessary for your exports. The duty, whatever you have paid, that will be reversed, that will be given back to you. That is the advantage if you are importing goods or certain material to manufacture products or goods when you want to export them. So such facility is there. That is the reason why government had formed in different states these kind of EPZs and SEZs, so-called. They are given these kind of benefits. The main reason for that is India would like to have more exports. One of the main criteria to see that the development of a nation is measured through balance of trade balance. That means the trade balance, if it is having, the surplus trade, trade or deficit trade, whichever is there, when you have surplus trade, that means your exports are more. Foreign exchange earnings are more. Then your foreign exchange reserves will increase. If you have more foreign exchange, then you can do more, import, or you're more powerful because you've got more buying power from abroad. Second thing is, one is about trade surplus, the other is trade deficit. If your trade deficit, your economy is weaker. Trade surplus is when your currency is strong. When your currency is weak, that means you are of trade deficit. Today, that is exactly what India is facing, a bit of problem where the trade deficit is there. We are trying to give more benefits to the exporters, thereby we want to become trade surplus. Anytime, as I was telling you also earlier, if you see the nations which are self-sufficient or trade surplus, such as China, where the currency is stronger, there the currency is stronger. But wherever the currency is weaker, there the dependency on the foreign products, goods and services are there. That is the very reason your currency is weaker, right? So we are aiming, the nation is aiming by giving various, incentives, various benefits to the people who are the exporters. Thereby, if you are making more exports, you can become trade surplus. Well, coming back to the things which we are discussing, now in order to perform this kind of, the buying or selling, importing or exporting, for that there are certain ways how you are conducting it, which we call those terms in which we are going to conduct this kind of trade. Those terms are called Incoterms, international commercial terms, through which you can fix the method in which you are going to do the trading, such as, you can call as a FOB, free on board. That means free on board, once you are keeping the goods on board the vessel, your job is over. That means as an exporter, you have placed the goods on board ship. Then after that, the responsibility is for the importer. So similarly, CIF, cost, insurance and freight. That means the cost of it, then the insurance towards those products or goods, and then the freight charges. These are needed. In order to have this kind of, if at all the documents, to understand what documents are needed if you want to do export, there are certain documents, as you know, that the first and the foremost document needed is the commercial invoice. Commercial invoice speaks what is that you are exporting. The goods are mentioned, the value is mentioned. Why commercial invoice is very much important is based on that only the customs will understand what are the products you are exporting, what is its value. Those things are needed for the authorities, right? And then the second one is bill of lading. Bill of lading is nothing but when you are placing the cargo, the goods or products on board vessel, you should have some acknowledgement for that. That means you have placed these goods on board ship. For that, the ship master, through the chief officer, will be giving you a certificate, a document called as bill of lading, in which it is given the buyer's name, the seller's name, the buyer's address, the seller's address, then the cargo, and then the destination. All these things will be given in that, and it is signed by the chief officer. It is an authentic document which is one of the prerequisite for the delivery of letter of credit. This is very, very important document, bill of lading. Similarly, commercial invoice. Then you have packing list. Packing list, what is the significance of packing list is? Packing list gives the details of whatever products or goods you are going to export, the details by quality, quantity, mainly quantity, and then the number, whatever is the volume of you are trying to export. So packing list, then country of origin. Country of origin is very essential because by knowing from the country of origin, one can know whether how the duty is applicable for the country. So country of origin will be there. Then the inspection certificate, where inspection certificate is mainly for certain agency, third party, who will be inspecting the goods or the products, and then they will be certifying that it is standing to the quality as specified. Whether it is standing or not, there should be a third party who should certify it. That is the party whom we call as the third party who is giving the inspection certificate. Right? And well, once these things are there, then for it is very easy and comfortable for the exchange of letter of credit in the documents, right? Now, I'm also going to tell you about mainly on the challenges, the issues when you are conducting this kind of international trade. The challenges are clearly that the first and the foremost thing is that quality should be acceptable. Global standards are to be maintained. That is one of the reasons why many nations fail to export, because the standards the benchmarks are pretty high. And if you are not able to stand or manufacture to that level, then the goods will be rejected. So quality is utmost. Second thing is that challenge is that because I am giving quality, I charge whatever price. If you are trying to look in that angle, you are mistaken. You cannot do that because the world is very competitive. Your pricing should be very optimal. Your pricing should be very competitive. So ensure that the pricing should be competitive. Third thing is that the legality, you have to, whatever the regulatory requirements are there, you have to fulfill all those regulatory things. If you are unable to do that, then again you will be in a problem. So you have to ensure that what are the regulatory requirements, legal requirements, once you have them. And also once, let me tell you, these things are certain times very difficult for the one who is doing the business to know all these things. Very difficult certain times. In such scenario, you can take the help of those people who are having adequate knowledge, who are locals. Like for example, if I am doing with US, I have to hire an advocate who is from US, who can tell me that these are the things you have to follow. These are the laws of the land. Once you know that, then you can adhere as per the requirement of that particular country. So, the legal thing, the regulatory things, you have to ensure. Further, the challenges are the cultural, cross-cultural understandings. That means everyone has their own, customs, traditions, understandings, notions. All these things one should be aware of it and then follow those things. Otherwise, there can be miscommunication, there can be misunderstanding, there can be certain, displeasure, or maybe what you are communicating may be different, and there may be a misunderstanding due to which your business can go down. So understand that. That is very, very important. Similarly, a few things which are also affecting you is that the currency, because you are going to swap currencies, you are trading off the currencies. So when you are doing that, you should be careful to understand how your interest is protected, because you never know when it is going to go, when it is going to go down. According to that, it may be beneficial or it may be a loss for you. So how are you going to protect yourself again is that. If you want to see, this is one of the challenge for which I'm just trying to give a solution. That is, you can do hedging. You can do on the basis of forward, contract. Forward contract is nothing but for the future, whatever you are going to do, you can fix up the price today itself, and then you can get into a contract. So that is one thing. Second thing is hedging is also a similar thing where you are trying to protect the fluctuation, protect yourself from the fluctuation of the currency. So hedging, forward contracts is nothing but they are going to fix up the price. Thereby, even though there is any fluctuation, you are protected against those fluctuations. And similarly, we have interest rates. Interest rates are, that is also another component through which your product may become attractive or unattractive. So the interest rates, we have to ensure that why all these things are I'm telling you is that in order to decide the cost of the product, all these components are to be added. So interest component is very much there. Similarly, inflation. Inflation is another parameter which can affect your business very badly. So inflation, the lower the inflation, the better it is. So that you are not having, the inflation, higher inflation is nothing but there's more demand and less supply. When there is less supply, naturally the prices will go up. If the prices are going up, you are at a disadvantage because your products and goods and your services are not competitive anymore. If they are not competitive, nobody will be ready to take it. Don't think that because you have very good quality, for that people will come and buy it. Because in the world today, when you want to do all this international trade, quality is to be maintained. Nobody can accept inferior quality. Those gone are the days when quality is superior, so I can charge anything. That is no more existing, right? So other challenges are the challenges of not having the understanding of the local language. If your communication is poor and if you don't know the language, again you will land up in a problem, right? So besides that, you should have that kind of adaptability towards technology and understanding of the technology. Otherwise, if you are not able to understand technology, that means you are unable to sync with the technology. Thereby, you may be committing certain errors due to which the delivery periods can increase. If you are delivering late, that means time is the essence of any project. If time is delayed, that means money is lost. Time is money, right? So you should understand technology. Besides that, the manpower, abilities, skills, capabilities, traits, the people that should be matching with the required global, requirements. And similarly, the other thing is that the ethical and values, human values are very much important. If they are not there, they can be indirectly you are going to have certain losses while you are conducting your business. So the challenge is, if I have to keep on telling you, there are several challenges, several issues, several difficulties in these kind of operations. Ensure that you are not going to have that kind of errors committed. Or if you are aware of those things, whatever challenges you are going to face, be prepared for that. Have solutions for that. When you have solutions, your business can be very, very successful. And your offer, whatever it is you are going to offer, customers will be happy to take it because you are removing all those things from your product. That means the quality, good quality, cost will be very effective. There will not be any illegal thing you are adding into the system, or you have very good understanding. You are able to provide the best customer satisfaction. These are certain things which you have to ensure by default. If you don't have these things, why somebody should come, right? So further, as I was telling you, that why this international trade should be given that kind of importance. Main thing one should understand is that the existence of human beings across this globe is with the cooperation, collaboration from one nation to the other nation, because skills are different, products are different, the characteristics are different, the geopolitical situations are different, the kind of climate is different. So, based on all these parameters, there can be certain places which are more favorable for certain things and certain places are favorable for something else. and certain places they have better taxation, better interest rates, better reserves availability of reserves, availability of resources. These things will definitely change the prices, because whatever is easily available for you, the costing will be much lesser compared to the other places, because it is very much available for you in your own place. That will bring down the prices. So that is how everybody is having certain advantage in their own nation. Those things are to be exchanged. Those things should be traded off between the nations for the benefit of entire world. So that's how international trade can mutually, that is win-win situation. I grow, you grow. That means my nation grows, your nation also grows, and both the nations are growing like that. If all of the nations are growing, that means entire world prosperity is increasing. When the prosperity is more, there can be more happiness, provided that there should not be any conflicts, any kind of illegal activities or practices for which the regulatory body should put a stop, and then there should be the kind of bodies which can make the people obey the law and be standing to the laws and all, right? So I think over here we can stop it. I have the presentation and all in which you have the entire thing, whatever I was talking to you, and there are certain problems also given in that. There are certain scenarios also created and then tried to resolve those issues in the scenarios. All those are there given in that. And for today I will conclude over here, and we can discuss. If you have any questions, you can ask me. Thank you.